But even though it's now okay to discuss that particular election that he stole, or that the globalist elites stole for him, as globalist butt buddies, as I like to call them, stole for him. Well, I'm waiting for them to reinstitute that policy, and a lot of it is because there's a I can sense the preemptive cope coming for the next election. Might have
Oh
something
yeah,
to do
no,
with the fact that,
it's already in there.
yeah, even from polling firms that are run by that are or at least financed by Disney, Trump is ahead of the polls by 10 points.
Correct.
That is insurmountable if it stays. They
Correct.
can't even make an election if he's that far ahead.
Well, they could
So
try.
enter the twunt. Hillary Clinton warns
Oh my God, I hate this bitch.
deniers that Putin will interfere in the 2024 election. Yes, because they totally, after years of investigation, showed that this actually. Oh wait, they didn't, did they?
No.
Yeah, there was never any 2016 election interference, just a stolen 2020 election. But thank you for playing.
Yeah, Putin is going to interfere with our 2024 election. Come on.
I'm sorry, but I thought that people who denied the integrity of the elections in this country were insurrectionists who deserve to be held in solitary confinement for months or years on end without a trial. People who deserve 17 years in prison for shaking a fence. Meanwhile, the people just a couple years before that who literally set fire to buildings and put the White House in blackout mode, none of them got charged with jack shit.
Nope. No, they didn't. In fact, that one Capitol Police agent who executed that Air Force veteran at point blank range, nothing ever happened to that guy. That is just reprehensible.
Yeah, that dude better watch his back, because I have a feeling that at some point there's a very aggrieved husband who may just,
settle up. Listen, I've said it before. I'm using a historical example here. All right. If you can't get justice in the courts, at some point it's going to happen outside the courts.
Yep.
And listen, the people are getting very upset with the way the police are handling themselves. And once the right decides, basically gives up on the cops, it's going to be very bad for them.
Yeah.
I hope that doesn't happen. I hope we can pull back from this insanity. I literally do not relish living through chaos or interesting times, whatever you want to call it. I'm old. There's really fuck all I could do about it other than talk shit and point fingers.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Let's read some of what this twunt had to say. The election denying twunt. I love how, like when Trump does it, it's evil and it's horrible, and we gotta prosecute him with multiple felonies that he didn't commit. But Hillary Clinton can literally publish a book off of it and profit off of election denial, and it's totally fine. And this isn't not me telling you guys that it would be more difficult to steal the next election. That's not me telling you to be complacent. Okay, no. Don't have faith that what I'm saying is true. All right, I'm just trying to do my best not to dish out nothing but black pills. All right. Yeah. But I mean, no matter, there were shenanigans in how many states the last time, and Trump still managed to score more votes than any incumbent in history, and only lost in a handful of states by just maybe 100,000 votes.
That miraculously showed up after 11 o'clock at night. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, seriously, three things fix this: national holiday, same day voting, paper ballots. That's
correct. 100%.
And used to be how things were. Then all of a sudden, Democrats were like, "Well, we can scam an entire country, and because they're stupid and have free port and 2-day shipping, they'll go along with it." And guess what? They were right.
For now.
Mm-hmm. So here's what the twunt has to say. I don't think, despite all of the deniers, well, you mean the evidence, that there is any doubt that he interfered in our election, or that he, meaning Putin, has interfered in many ways in the internal affairs of other countries. You mean like the CIA? funding political parties, funding political candidates, buying off government officials in different places, like the Biden administration. He hates democracy, like the Biden administration. He particularly hates the West, and he especially hates us. Then why is he colluding with Biden to launder money in Ukraine?
Hang on. All right. Hang on. Did she actually say that?
No, that's what I'm asking here.
All right. Okay.
But she says here, he hates democracy. He particularly hates the West, and he especially hates us. That's my question. If he hates the West so much, then why is he colluding with Biden to launder money in Ukraine? There's no other reason to keep this fight going this long other than to keep laundering money.
Well,
I'm telling you, Nord Stream was a payoff, and then they sent Putin in, and then they reneged on the deal. But by then, you're committed.
I don't know.
It's just my theory. Could be wrong.
Well, Putin has actually been talking about taking over the Ukraine pretty much since day one when he showed up.
Oh yeah,
he was a KGB guy. He wants to go back to that, USSR style of government, I guess. But it's just not going to work out.
Especially because, I mean, when you really look at his history, he's only invaded when there's been a Democrat in office.
Yeah, pretty much.
And yet the guy who was supposedly his puppet was the only one who could keep him in line. I'm telling you, dude, proxy wars. Proxy wars are where it's at for these globalist douchebags. They have figured out that they can get, taxpayers to sign on to a bullshit narrative and just part with their money overseas. It's all debt spending, but it makes the rich richer and it crushes the rest of us under its fucking wheels. But
not to say you're wrong there, but holy
just
smoke.
keep printing it forever.
Well, no, they can't actually.
No, they can't. Well, that's what they think. And I actually know people who vote Democrat who think, well, why can't they just print more money? Then we'll have more money. Wow, your vote counts the same as mine.
Haven't I been talking about the left thinking that they live in Star Trek land where stuff just magically appears without any effort? You just push a couple buttons on a panel and it just appears. They think they live in that world, and that world does not exist. Everything on this earth, if it wants to see the sunrise, something the day before had to die to keep them here.
Yeah.
That's just the way it works.
Every time you sit down to a meal, you better give thanks to the animal that gave its life so that you could live.
That's right.
Just saying.
Every day. And I thank the man who wielded the bat that put the steak on my plate. Yummy.
Winning. And you know why? Because it's fucking delicious.
It is.
Yeah. It's quite fantastic. But you know what's even more delicious? The sheer cognitive disconnect of the modern leftoid.
Oh my God. It's legendary. It is legendary.
Are you ready for this? I'm not sure if you guys have heard about this. We've already talked about Hunter Biden, which is what I call him, trying to sue the IRS for like discrimination or some shit because he didn't pay his taxes while he was, in felony possession of a firearm and all that shit. But this one really takes the cake. He now wants to sue Rudy Giuliani for annihilating his digital privacy after publicizing the sordid contents of his laptop.
Well, I mean, he could try to sue Giuliani for this, but
it's not going to work, and I'll tell you exactly why.
Well, if number one, the guy left the laptop at the computer place where he signed a piece of paper. Yeah, he signed authorization that if it goes over 90 days, it becomes the property of the guy who owns the shop. I mean, that's just cut and dry.
You're damn right.
And listen, I'm sorry, he's an idiot. And there's videos of him smoking crack and committing pedophilia acts and, whatever, craziness is going on in that family. But it's 100% his fault.
It is. It's 1,000% his fault. He literally took in a laptop full of criminal evidence.
Yeah.
And then left it.
What are you
thereby relinquishing all of his rights to privacy because as soon as he didn't pick it up, that laptop was no longer his.
That's right.
It was theirs to do with whatever they fucking pleased. They gave it to Rudy Giuliani. Hey, guess what?
Yeah, and the guy made a copy of the stuff too.
Yeah, and just like Hillary, they claimed it was Russian disinfo without any evidence whatsoever.
They need to criminally prosecute all 51 of those so-called intel experts that said it was Russian disinformation, because they just flat out abused their authority and lied to the entire country.
Yep.
That is weapons grade treason.
Yes, it is treason. It's election interference. It is direct election interference.
It is. It's 100%.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.